We are building a church that loves one another and prays together. So that's the two P words, prayer and pastoring. Today we hear how Nehemiah, when he found out about the desperate state that Jerusalem was in, spent time in prayer. His response was prayer first, action second. It's no surprise too that Jesus was a man of prayer and taught his disciples to pray. And then in the New Testament we see a young church with a vibrancy and an urgency in its corporate prayer life that more than matched the signs and wonders that it was performing. So what about us? Prayer is an adventure with God that we take together. And we dream of a church that prays together regularly in different ways, not only to change the world, but also to change us. We currently only have one regular prayer meeting, 7:30 on Tuesday mornings on Zoom. We also pray in our life groups and when we meet together to worship. And of course we have a habit of praying together when we meet up throughout the week. It would be great if we had more of these prayer meetings. That's down to you lot. The other P word is pastoring. It means giving spiritual care and guidance. Pastor means shepherd. In the church in general, pastoral care has been seen to become by people as the pastor's job, the paid professional. But the New Testament doesn't mention it at all. Pasture gets 99 references. Pastor gets just the one. There are, however, many references to love and loving each other. The Bible then talks an awful lot about love, but only has one reference to pastors and nothing to pastoral care. Does that surprise anyone? So if the New Testament talks so much about love, whose job is it to love? Is it the pastor's job? The life group leader's job? In John 13, a great model of pastoral care, as known as loving one another, is explained when Jesus washes his disciples' feet. And then he says, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you." And then later in the chapter he says, "A new command I have given to you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for another." So at Vineyard we believe it's everybody's job to love each other and to look out for each other. To make it easier, we organise ourselves into small groups which we call life groups, places where you can know others and become known yourself. So if your fellow life groupers see that something's up with you, they'll know about it and they'll notice if you're not around. So find a life group, commit to it, invest in it, give to it. If you invest during the good times, you'll have people there for you during the bad. By turning a simple act that we can all do, loving one another, into something more technical, giving it a posh name, pastoral care, and making it a thing, we've convinced people that it isn't necessarily their responsibility. No longer something to be done by them, turned into something to be done for them. Done by the professionals and the super Christians. Think of how amazing a church would be if everybody took responsibility for looking after each other. And because everyone was an active part of a small group, they had friends in church who would look out for them, just as they were looking out for others. We would give an alternative story to what's going on in the world. Increased isolation and independence. We'd give an alternative story to that and model a community who truly look out for each other and care for each other, who love one another. And we're beginning to see just that, just such a church like that being built here in Vineyard, and we need your help to keep it going.